So hi guys, this is the 10th of September, so we're going to do some stretches, yay! It's probably going to be a leggy day today because like an idiot I actually strained my shoulder on Monday, even though I always tell everyone don't strain your shoulder, don't push. I strained and I pushed, so yeah, it's going to be a bit of a leggy one today. I hope that's alright. So let's get warmed up. So still working from the top down, so I'm in my spare room today. Oh, just looking right and left. It's still worth just getting all the small muscles working. I'm just going to close this cupboard. It hides all my mess. And just bring your ear down to your shoulder, right and left. Oh, and everything's just a bit stiff in my shoulder. And then look right and left, so little head rolls. And then try little head rolls to the back. And try some little shoulder circles. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and round the shoulder at the front. I feel like if something just goes click in my upper back, everything will be fine. So maybe this class will just give me that clunk and click that I need in my upper back and shoulder. Elbow coming up. So I'm squeezing at the back and rounding at the front and then taking it into full circles. Just getting things moving. If you start with the smaller joints and get all them moving, it kind of just gets your body prepared for the bigger joints and the bigger movements. So squeezing round and back. And then you just pop your hands to your head. All I'm going to do, just move back so you got, is just stretch the side. I can feel that rib cage stretch. And then I'm rounding forwards, very, very gentle pressure on the back of the head. Doing the opposite side, so really feel the ribs open at the sides and then open back. Try and send your elbows back slightly, little pec stretch. Let's do two more and then we'll change direction. So very, very light pressure. You don't want to go wrenching your head into any weird positions. And one more. Oh, this feels so nice. And then we'll change directions. So stretch it out. Open at the back, two more. So the circle is more from the upper back than it is from your neck. Open, and last one. And then when you're ready, just into some little twists. Remember to let the knees go with it. Oh, I don't know if you heard that. There was a crack just then, that might have been what I've been looking for. And then take it into a side bend. Oof. Keeping your spine flat as you change sides. I'm trying hard not to headbutt the furniture here. And then spine flat as you change sides. And one more. Oh, remember keep the elbows straight. When you're ready, come back to centre and give me some hip circles. So try and keep your shoulders still. The movement is now in the lower back and pelvis. Sorry, trailing. And then changing directions. So shoulders are staying still, lower back and pelvis are making the movement. But then let's keep the pelvis still and get the movement coming from the rib cage. So I'm doing little rib circles here. Whew. It's kind of pushing my breath around and then changing directions, little rib circles. Whew. Okay, give me some squats then. So remember the knees want to go the same direction, the feet are pointing, and we're just warming up the big muscles in the thighs. Ready for some stretches? Yeah! Oh. So let's go for 10, and 9, and 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then I'm going to keep going but into plie, so wide squats. Make sure the knees and feet are in a nice turnout here. Whew, definitely feeling warm now. This room's always very warm in the mornings. Whew. So yeah, it's about 10:30 right now, I think, for me. Okay, hold it down in that squat. So my legs are basically in a square position. Thighs are parallel to the floor and you're just flexing those ankles. Maybe bring your spine into it if you want to. And then try pointing at the ankles. And go a little bit lower. Have a little bounce around here. Woo! You can just push those knees apart. So you can use your hands or your elbows, whichever feels better at the time. Okay, let's do our point and flex then. So the idea is really you want to stay pretty much in position and just the ankles are moving, point and flex. You might go up and down slightly, point, and I'm trying to get my ankles fully straight. 3 and 4 and 5. Point and lift, so point, lift, heels down and lower. Point, lift, heels down. 3 more, then we'll reverse it. And 2. And last one. Then we'll reverse it. So now I'm coming up with flat feet to the point, lower and heels down. 4 more. And if you're going a little bit faster or slower than me, that's okay. 3. Try and be mindful of what's happening. So really feel that, yes, your ankles are going straight. And last one. Whew. Okay, bring it up. Walk those feet in. So I'm going to roll down to my deep squat, so rolling all the way down. By the time I hit the bottom of this roll, the knees are going to bend. Really try and think about the sides of your bum to push the knees apart here. Lift your chest and back up we go. Let's do 2 more. So I'm rolling it down. So glute medius, glute minimus. They're the little fellas that live at the side of your bum. They're part of the bum and glute setup. But glutes are always, everyone thinks of this bit, the glute maximus, which is a slightly different muscle. So I'm going to push using those side glutes and roll up. Let's reverse it. Oh, do you know, I think I did reverse it then. Okay, yeah. Coming down to the squat and roll up. I think I messed up there. It should be 3 of each version. 2 more. If you're totally confused, that's okay. That's how I live my life. Last one. Push those knees. Alright team, take it down into that deep squat and stay there. Same thing, we're trying to bounce around a little bit in this position, just loosening off the hip socket where all those ligaments are kind of joining and crossing and doing all sorts of interesting things around the hip socket. Have a little bounce to the right and left, do a little dance. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And then 10 times we're going to use again those side glutes pushing the knees apart. So I'm going to go 1 and 2, like a little froggy, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Roll it back up. Let's do our leg lifts. So I'm going to hang on to my furniture because why not? Just makes it easier. Okay, so I'm trying to keep my torso lifted. If you've done this class, you know this drill. Make sure you're not sagging, make sure your bum doesn't tuck under. The standing leg is straight, the torso is up in a nice straight neutral position. 5 lifts and 4. Remember, go as high as you can. 3, keep always pushing this to go higher and hold. So my leg is as high as I can get. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it at the top. 1, tap down. 5 and lift. 4, lots of hip flexors. And 2, and hold it at the top. Ready? 5, 4, 3, as high as you can. 2, keep pushing. 1, woo, leg to the side. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold that 5 as high as you can, and extend. 5, 4. For extra stretch, you could flex the ankle if you want to. It just goes down into the calf then. 2 just doesn't look as nice, does it? Hold and tap. 5, it's just automatic for me to point my feet. 4 and 3 and 2. Hold as high as you can. Keep that posture. 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Woo! Other leg. Goodness. So here we go. So I'm just holding on to my wardrobe now. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up there. 1. Leg extension. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it out, and 1, tap down, 5, lift, 4, remember going faster makes you a little bit more flexible, so I'm kind of kicking a little bit just to get a little bit more, hold at the top, ready, 5, 4, straight knees, 2 and 1, yay, to the side, you know it, 4, 3, 2, hold at the top, 1, leg extension, 5, 4, 3, yeah, I'm starting to feel warm now, 2, hold it up there, 1 and tap, 5 and lift, 4 and lift, 3 and 2, hold it, ready, 1, now, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1, yay, okay. So going into glutes from here, let's do it from a standing position. So you don't need to see my head, I'm going to duck and dive out of this one anyway. If you need to put your hands on blocks or furniture or whatever, if you struggle to get down with straight legs, pop your hands on something. If you're comfortable going to the floor, that's great. I can see in the mirror my posture is not good for my spine. What I really want is my butt out and a flat spine, because this is giving me a little hamstring stretch. So let's actually just try that. Have a little tinker about with where suits you. If you can see your own reflection in the computer or mirror or whatever, just check your spine is flat. And can you go lower, lower, lower? How far can you go without rounding, basically? And I'm really tilting my tailbone up. So the anatomy of this, the hamstrings, they cross the back of the knee. They kind of attach in, you can feel there's two kind of meaty tendons here. They attach across the back of the knee. They go up. There's 3 muscles that attach all into the same place, into those 2 sit bones. And if I literally try and tilt my sit bones upwards, in fact it actually feels nice if you grab them and push, you'll get that lovely hamstring stretch. It's nothing to do with getting your head to your knees, not really. Ooh. If you're comfortable with your hands on the floor, maybe you want to just pop your hands on top of your feet, feet on top of hands. You can see it in my mirror behind me, and that'll just give you a little bit of calf stretch maybe. Whew. Okay, so wherever you are, you've either got hands on the floor or on blocks or maybe even on something a bit higher like a chair. Let's take one leg up. Try not to let your hips twist. How high will that leg go? Keeping the knees straight. Use your bum muscles. This is glute maximus of the top leg. Little pulses for 20. 1, 2, 3, right at the top. 4, 5, constant pressure. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, hold it, 19, 20. Now this is square split, and of course on the floor especially I want my hips nice and square, but for certain events you might want to go into an open split or jazz type split, and you can see the illusion. In the mirror I actually look like I'm doing a pretty good split, because I've opened to the side. You can actually see me, not my reflection, isn't in a split at all, and I'm quite twisted here. But it's worth just having a little go at opening to the side as well. Oh. Alright, keep that leg lifted. See if you can bring your body up with the leg lifted as high as you can. I'm using my furniture to help me balance, but even better if you can balance without. So that leg is lifted. Oh, hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Okay, let's change sides. So I'm going to go back to that forward fold stretch. I'm just going to try and move so you can see my feet. There we go. I'm going to end up headbutting the furniture. So I'm sticking my bum out. Remember the sit bones. If you literally grab the sit bones and push them upwards, you'll feel that length. So maybe got your hands on something, and that's fine in order to keep your spine in a comfortable position. So really rounding your back is just going to put pressure on your lower back. It's not going to do anything for the stretch anyway, so, you know, if you need it, or if you want it, just make it comfier. Oh, okay, so I'm quite happy. I've got very short arms and legs, as you know, so I'm quite happy with my hands on the floor here. So stick your tailbone up, grab your sit bones and push them if it helps you. Remember the hamstrings, you can feel these 2 nice meaty tendons each side of the back of the knee. That's where the hamstrings go down. They go all the way up here, and all 3 muscles connect onto that sit bone. Sometimes when people strain their hamstrings, they say they can feel it right inside their bum, and basically it's where the attachment is that's not happy. Okay, so from here, I'm just going to move, oh hang on, the reason I moved so you can see my feet is we can just go to here. Oh, so it might just give you a little bit of calf stretch. I find if I rock forwards, I find just a nice little mini calf stretch, if you want to go there. Of course, if your hands are on blocks, this one isn't an option anyway, but it's not a huge stretch. Okay, so let's do those leg lifts. I'm just going to move so I don't kick my furniture. Small room troubles. Don't let those hips twist. This is a square position, and we are going for 20, 19, 18, right in that butt cheek. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, keep it up there, 1, really push that leg high. Now I'm going to open my split. You can see it looks like I'm raising the leg higher. It's really just a hip twist. Ooh. And really push that leg up, 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 up. So if you just get the camera angle, you can see now I look pretty splitty. My reflection in the mirror doesn't. But yeah, if you're an Instagram whore and you want to get some cool pictures, it's all about those angles. Or of course you could actually be flexible. Okay, so keep that leg high. Walk your way up. Use objects to balance if you have them. Woo, keep that leg lifted. Let's hold it here. Let's stay here. Whoa. For 5, 4, keep pushing up. 3, 2, and 1. Ah, yeah, my thighs definitely feeling this. Woo. Okay, so I'm just going to move my camera down to the floor. There we go. Yes. Okay, so remember everything's connected. By loosening your lower back, you're helping the pelvis and therefore the thighs where they connect into your pelvis. So let's just have an easy little back stretch. The light is making my back look amazingly bendy today. It's not usually that bendy. I think it's just the sunlight shining. And then try some circles. I'm going to lean towards you guys, up to the ceiling, lean away and down. To you, and up. I'm just going to do 3 and then change directions. You guys might do 4 or 5. Oh, it's up to you. Just make sure you are doing an equal number each way. 1 and 2 and 3. Good stuff. Okay, so from here, just a little back stretch this time. All we're going to do is, if you can touch your knee to your head, that's lovely. If you can't, it doesn't matter. So knee to head, and then I'm going to squeeze it up there. 1. Oh, let's do 5. So bring it in, so you're rounding the spine, and of course using your bum muscles. 2, 3, and 4. And I'm trying to keep that top leg straight as it goes up. Oof, and 5. Hold it at the top this time. Stay here. So again, all about those bum muscles. If you take your body a little bit lower, that leg will go higher. Whew. Hold this for 10. Really push it. 9, 8. Nice square hip position. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Keep that leg up. 1. So I'm coming back up. And this time, oof, I'm going to grab my shin. So you know it, the bum muscle takes the leg higher, and then using the front of the thigh or the quad muscle to straighten it against your own arm. The closer your hand is to your knee, the more chance you have of getting that leg straight, but I don't think I can do it today. Oh my word. Whew, okay, let's change sides. So 5 times, head to knee, and use your bum muscle, lift. And 4. So it's quite a nice little back stretch on that curl round. 3. And 2. top. So to get my leg higher, it's just a fact of life. Take your head lower. So I'm not particularly any more flexible, but it looks a little bit more flexy when I get my head down. Hold this for 10, 9, 8, 7. Again, keep squeezing. 6. If it's easy, you ain't working hard enough. 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the leg lifted. Back up we go. So now I'm going to try and find my calf. So you can grab from inner or outer. I'm usually, comfier grabbing from inner. But go with whatever works for you. Use your bum muscle to lift the leg. And then the front of the thigh or the quad pushes the leg straight against your own arm. Oh my word. Phew. I can't remember how much I counted to last time. I think it was 5. So let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And down. Woo! Okay, let's do some downward dogs then. Here we go, up into a downward dog. So I can feel quite a nice calf stretch here as I'm pushing my heels down to the floor. And of course a downward dog is a triangle. I've got a straight line from my hands up to my shoulders, and a straight line from my, hands up to shoulder, hands up to my bum, and a straight line from bum down to heels. You can play with this a little bit. If you walk your hands forwards, I feel like you get more calf stretch. And if you walk your hands backwards, I feel like I get more hamstring stretch. You might want to go for a little mini jog here. That's quite nice, just bending and straightening one leg and then the other. Oh. Okay, going for circles. So I'll probably have to shuffle around the room to make myself space for this. Let's take one leg up to the ceiling, so square hips. All right, you don't need to see my leg to know that it's there. It's then coming sideways towards you guys, and then down. That's 1. Let's do 3. And I'm going to cross as far as I can. Unfortunately, I've hit the wall. 2. And wide. These ones really get me in the side of my bum, so glute medius, glute minimus. And 3. Lovely. Change directions. 1. Coming up, 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 up. Up to the ceiling. So at every point in this circle, you're squeezing to get as far out. Make the circle as big as you can. 2. Whew. And 3. Woo! Change sides. So I'm going to turn around so that I don't kick the wall. 3 each way, so in your own time. So I'm going, actually I'll start at the top, going across the middle this time. Whew, out to the side and up 1. Oh, it's making my shoulders tired this as well. 2. 3. Change directions. 1. Whew. 2. And oh my word, 3. Oh, okay. So I'm just going to come out of that because my shoulders are tired. Oh, and of course, let's do our hip flexors. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is just start in this usual position. Again, my head's disappeared, but that's okay. Stick your bum out and then tuck the tailbone under, looking for that nice stretch in the middle of the hip socket. So we're going to do 3 times. It's going to be the easy flexibility technique today. So I'm going to go backwards, forwards, and again, and then just kind of push into this stretch. Yep, 3 times. That's 1. Okay, so bum goes backwards, bum goes under. And you can see my butt cheek tenses. 2 and push. And a 3rd time, so kind of release, tuck under, release, tuck under, and push. Now I'm going to do the same thing, but off to the side. So I'm kind of, this back leg's maybe about 45 degrees, and hips go backwards and under, backwards and under. So I'm tense that back bum cheek.
I'm going to go a little bit sideways. So it's just opening more to the inner part of the groin, if you will. 2 more times. Back, bum cheek, tense and push. And this is the one you can do in the gym and just look a bit awkward. Get someone, look them in the eye as you do it. And one more. Ba-ba. Ba-ba. But yeah, I can feel a slightly different area of this whole hip joint stretching at this point. Okay, let's roll it back to center. So now my hips are pointing square to the end of my mat. Remember, with hip flexor stretches, you really want to keep the body upright. Got the back bum cheek tensing, really pushing the tailbone under. I'm not really feeling anything in my lower back, which is good. I don't want to. Okay, 3 times. You're going to breathe in, just lift a tiny bit, release it, and breathe out, and push down. Second one, try and go a bit lower. So breathe in, little lift, but as you breathe out, go a little bit deeper. And last one, breathe in, little lift, breathe out, push it down. Going back on the diagonal. So if you need blocks for your hands to just relieve the pressure, you can do. But I'm just going to turn that leg 45 degrees again. Just go easy on those kneecaps. So when I bend the leg up, I can then get hold of it. And it's that side to side movement. So I'm going to take the leg a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, bring it back to center and drop into the stretch. 2 more times, a little bit right, a little bit left, center, drop. So I'm really trying to tuck my tailbone here, and one more, side and center. So these are tiny movements, and you should feel it twisting inside the hip socket. It's the thigh bone I'm trying to twist. All right, control your way back out of it. Let's square up for the last time. Take the front leg a little bit further forwards. I'm going to use blocks because I'm feeling a bit fragile today. There we go. Whew. So really strong hip flexor stretch. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, oh yes, release it down a little bit lower. From here, if you straighten the front leg, stick out your bum. So it's that hamstring stretch, and of course we're trying to literally lengthen the distance from the back of the knee to the sit bone. So if I push my sit bone back, maybe even put your fingers on it and push it, that should give you a nice hamstring stretch. But I think this is only a gentle one. Okay, piriformis. So if you open the front leg to the side, hips are pointing square to the front here, back knee is pointing straight down to the floor, and I'm in my pigeon pose. You might want to just arch backwards for a moment, tuck that tailbone, open the chest. And then when you're ready, you can curl down. This one should give you a stretch on the front leg in the side of the bum muscle. So piriformis kind of sits underneath the glute medius and minimus. I'll just scoot back. Hello. So my face is on camera. If you slightly lean towards this front foot, so I'm just leaning a little bit sideways, for me that just gives me slightly more stretch on the side of my bum on that front leg. Back leg's not doing much at all. While we're here for extra fun, okay, so whatever the back leg is, that's my right leg, it's the same arm, is going to reach, and this time I'm going to tickle it round the corner toward the left corner, if that makes sense, and you get a really nice stretch down your ribs, just for bonus points. Alright, back to centre, into a quad stretch. So if I bend that leg up, if my hips are all lined up nice and square, the heel should be in line with my bum. And I can just bring it into a quad stretch. Keep tucking the tailbone. There. And if you want to go into, I don't know what this pose is called, but it's really nice. You can slide your toes into your elbow. Reach over and clasp your hands. And I'm might be feeling a bit ambitious today, this might not work, but I'm going to attempt to just see if I can get my head to my foot. Nah, a bit ambitious today, not going to happen, but if you want to try that too, you're very welcome to. Alright, to find your way out of it, just ease your way back. And of course, we're changing sides. Woo! So, other leg, here we go. So you want to start bum here. That was a bit of a stomp. So remember 3 times, it's going to go bum out to the back, tuck it under, 1. Bum out to the back, push, and just squeeze forwards into the stretch. So make sure those hips are square, they're not twisting. Let's do that a second time. Bum back, bum under, ba-ba, ba-ba, and push. Whew. And third one, ba-ba. And push. There we go. So there's definitely no arch or strain in my lower back. It's really coming from tucking the pelvis and tensing this back butt cheek. Now the same thing slightly sideways, so I'm going to turn my back on you. So this back leg's about 45 degrees, and again, lucky people, bum to the camera, tuck it under, oh, click, bum to the camera, tuck it under, and this time I'm just going a little bit sideways. So it's just getting a slightly different part of the groin or hip joint. 2 more times. And last one. So bum back, bum under, and that one. So beautiful camera angle there. Alright, so square back up. Ooh, so I'm a little bit lower in my hip stretch now. Ooh. So 3 times, this time we're going up and down. So inhale, little lift. Exhale, really tuck the tailbone, sink. Let gravity pull you down into that nice open hip. Second one's going a little bit lower. Little breath in to lift. Little breath out. Oh yeah. One more. And down. Good stuff. Once again, 45 degrees with that back leg. So I'm just turning it in. You can have your hand on a block if you feel you need it, or hand on the floor. Just go careful with your knees, and I'm reaching back. So then it's side, side, and drop. So you can see I'm cranking the leg. The entire thigh bone is twisting inside the socket and drop. So very careful small movements, because it's pressure on the joints that you don't want to overdo. 2, and drop. And side, side, centre, and drop 3. Back to centre. And again, I'm just going to have my blocks handy. It just makes it comfier, and you know, why suffer if you don't need to? Front leg's going to go a little bit further. Oh, yes. So as you breathe out, sink a little bit lower. Okay, straighten that front leg. So easy little hamstring stretch. You can see I'm uncurling my spine to the back, sticking out my bum. So it's not a major hamstring stretch, but it's just a little relief basically. And if you grab your own tailbone and sit bone, even just give it a little push, you might even find that just increases the stretch. Moving on to pigeon pose. The front leg is going to open sideways. Back knee is facing the ground. And down we go. Oh, I forgot to do a sit-up one. We'll do that in a minute. But in the meantime, I can feel the pressure here. So the piriformis, its function is to twist the hip socket, or twist the thigh bone in the socket. Ooh. And if you lean a little bit to the side, away from that leg, for me at least, I feel it more at this point. So this is a completely passive stretch. So yeah, I missed it a minute ago. Remember to sit up tall, tuck your tailbone and arch backwards if you can. So opening the chest, tucking the tailbone. Okay, now if things are lined up square, when you bend that back leg, and this one often doesn't behave for me, it should come up bang in line with your bum. Grab up, quad stretch. So this again is a passive stretch. Try and tuck your tailbone. Now I'm going to slip my toes into my elbow like so. And you can reach, and I think it makes a really pretty shape, and you get quite a nice stretch down the side of your ribs. And I think some people just slot into this pose, other people really don't, so don't worry if you can't do it. And again, I can't do it, but hey, half the fun is in trying, isn't it? I'm going to arch backwards and see if I can touch my foot to my head. This is going to be pathetic, but hey.
That's okay. All you can do is try.
Oh, there we go. Whew. Okay, release that lot off. Oh my word. Okay, let's do some hamstrings. So have a lay down. In fact, if you've got blocks, use blocks or a pillow or a cushion or whatever. Just try and get your bum a little bit off the ground. You'll see why in a few minutes. So here we go. If you haven't got anything, it doesn't matter. Just stay flat on the floor. It'll be fine. So I'm just trying to find a spot where I can kind of rest here reasonably comfortable. I wouldn't say I want to sit here all day, but I'm not screaming just yet. Okay, this just gives me space. When I do my hamstring stretch, it gives me space for a hip flexor stretch on the bottom leg, because you can see my leg is dropping down. I'm just going to move my t-shirt so you can sort of see a bit more what's going on here. Obviously this is my pelvis where the pink band is, and I don't want my pelvis to arch forwards. At all times during this stretch, I want it to tuck in. Okay, so if you tuck your knees to your body, that will, you can see it's tucked my pelvis in. I'm going to give this leg a stretch, and I'm going to take that leg down. So nice straight knee, of course. The muscles that send this leg down are the glutes, the butt muscles. It's always the glutes, isn't it? So send that leg down, push, 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 push. But try and keep your tailbone tucked. This knee wants to stay straight. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So normally the floor's in the way. You can see my bottom leg is going slightly lower than it would do normally. So I'm getting a little bit of tasty hip flexor stretch there. Okay, so you know it, I'm stretching the middle hamstring on this top leg. Now let's take it across the body slightly. So you can't see me move very well, but I'm bringing this foot as if I'm touching it to the opposite shoulder. I'm just sliding it across the body, still in my hamstring stretch. Tense that butt cheek of the bottom leg, send it down, 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 down. So a slight angle change. Woo! And then I'm taking it slightly wide, aiming my foot next to my head here. Whoa. And again, this butt cheek is working overtime right now. This is more the inner thigh hamstring, of course. Okay, let's centre back up and change legs. So I'm trying not to let my back arch. If it is arching, just trust me, I'm trying not to. So my left leg is going to hang. This one's my slightly tighter hip, so I can feel a little bit of pull in my hip joint. A little hammy stretch. So pelvis is curled in towards me at this point. And you can see the bottom leg is going just a little bit lower than it might do normally. Normally it'd be about here. If you are doing this without blocks, don't worry, it's not going to ruin anything. It's just a different way of doing it slightly. Okay, taking the leg across the body, so I'm aiming it towards my opposite shoulder. It's only a little shift. Now I can feel the stretch more at the side of the back of the thigh. Remember, there are 3 hamstring muscles, literally like my fingers, kind of think of them side by side, if you will. And then taking it wider to the inner thigh hamstring. So I'm aiming my foot kind of next to my shoulder or head, straight knee, force that other leg down. So again, nice active splits. Square up. And let's find our way out of that one. Now let's try, a little hammy stretch on the floor. And then I'm going to show you a floor jade, which is a pole move. I'm sure it's got different names. It's probably a pose from something else as well, but I've learned this called a floor jade. So here we go again. So tuck the knee, keep your tailbone on the ground. This time though, let's do our hamstring stretch. This is a passive stretch, but try and tilt your pelvis, and that will give you a little bit more hammy. So can you see I'm making a space under my lower back as I tilt forwards this time? Take it wide. Again, keep just ever so slightly, you can see the gap appearing under my lower back. Ever so slightly arch the pelvis forwards this time, where we were trying to curl it in. Taking it across the body, la 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 la. I do love our leg stretch, yum yum. Center. Now, bring it in a little bit closer. Ready for some active? So this is passive, the leg's just hanging here like a noodle. Now, make the leg do its own work. Let go, let's hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, grab back on, 1, take a breath in, pull it a little bit further. So just ways that you can get a little bit more stretch without the effort. Obviously partner stretches are the best, you can get a partner to literally push your leg. But if you've got some sort of heavy furniture, you can actually hook your foot maybe under your bed. That'll give you a nice stretch. Possibly a dining chair, but I think you'd need someone sat on the chair. But yeah, hooking your foot, I use wall bars at my studio, and if you just hook your foot under a bar, it takes the effort out of pulling. Speaking of effort, let go, let's hold it. 5, 4, 3, lots of abs for me, 2, and 1. Woo! Okay, let's change sides. So passive stretch initially. So remember, you want to pull that leg nice and straight, but then slightly tilt the pelvis forwards. It's that same principle. You're obviously trying to, if I just change legs, you're trying to basically send the tailbone or sit bone further away from the knee, and to do that I need to slightly arch, and that'll give you a bit more va-va-voom into your hamstring stretch. Alright, taking the leg across the body to the opposite shoulder. Taking the leg wide, slight pelvis back arch. Alright, back to centre. Ready for some active? Hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in, exhale, pull a bit further. Okay, here it comes. 5, 4, 3, 2, straight legs, 1. Little bit further, oh my word. And then release that leg back down. Okay, so floor jade. This is one of those illusion moves. It'll make you look slightly more bendy you are if you get the correct angle. So, what I'm going to do here is just prop up into a little shoulder stand. Be careful with your neck doing this. I can turn my head, there's no pressure, my weight is more in my arms right now. But yeah, if you try and turn your head with extra weight over it, obviously that's going to do you some damage. So I've got one hand in the square of my back, and you can see I'm twisting towards you. And then basically, one leg's going forwards, one leg's coming towards me. Whoa. And you'll have to play around a little bit with camera angles, but you should be able to get that to look flat. If you're reasonably flexible, obviously if your splits is kind of here, you might struggle. But it's not a true split. So now I've got my hand kind of on that hard lower back area where it meets the pelvis. And there. And the more I can kind of twist out to the side, I should be able to hit a point where it's reasonably flat. So a fun one to keep you entertained. I'm tired now. Okay, So let's do some inner thighs and straddles. Let's kick off with a froggy stretch. So froggy stretch, yeah, I would avoid trying to stick your bum in the air because it's a bit like rounding your back into a forward fold. It's not really achieving much apart from pressure on your back. I'm trying to keep my knees in line with each other and my pelvis as well, so I'm not back with my bum. In fact, I can see it in the mirror or the reflection on the computer quite easily. So we don't want to be forwards or backwards. The legs should be 90 degrees, so my shins are pointing straight back, they're not curling in towards each other. And I'm sticking to my mat a little bit, so I'm literally going to use my hands to just push those knees apart. Ugh. And I complain every time I do these, I chuffing hate this stretch, I think it's horrible. Which probably means I should do it more. Lately I've been very, very lazy with straddles, mainly because I hate them. Okay, so you might be comfy on your elbows, you might be comfy on your chest. I'm trying not to just sag in the middle, so try and almost like scoop your abs and tuck your tailbone down. Maybe it feels nicer just to whack a block or two under there so you can relax your body. So have a play about and you'll kind of learn what suits you. I think I'm happy about here. I'm going to scoot a bit wider. So tuck in the tailbone. Of course, the goal with this, and some people obviously can do it, is to be fully flat to the floor with your legs just smushed in that square shape, and it looks very, very odd. Okay, so I'm going to lift my foot near the camera 5 times. Lift and lower. That's a little twist, it's a rotation. Lift and lower. Lift, that's 3. So kind of this muscle's working. 4, this leg for me doesn't like it. The other one's okay with it. And 5, let's change sides. If we can strengthen all around the hip socket, so I am lifting the other leg, you just can't see it, that's 1. And 2, I'll count on my fingers. But if you can strengthen all the muscles around the hip socket, your body will be a lot happier when you start asking it to go into weird positions, simply because it'll be stronger and able to hold those positions. So you can just see my foot appearing and disappearing, that's 5. Woo! Okay, this time, keeping those legs where they are, see if you can lift. Oh, that feels horrendous. Whoa. Breathe. I'm talking to myself there. Woo! Now if you push your knees into the ground, so you can't see anything happening, but I'm squeezing with my inner thighs, push your knees into the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, take a breath in, and as you exhale, just let those legs go a bit wider, and then do whatever you need to do to come back out of it. There we go. And on to our pancake stretch. Whew. So remember, flexy feet will give you more stretch, pointy feet looks nicer, and it kind of depends on the situation, what you want. I mean, for some performances, flexy feet will look awesome as well, so have a play with both. Remember, your feet want to be on the same line as each other. I use the edge of my mat as a guide, and then you're just scooching those legs forwards, and the camera angle is making me look amazingly bendy. I'm really not in this position, it's an illusion. Okay, so let's just get those hips circling first. Let's do 5 circles. 4, both sides of my bum are on the ground. 3, those 2 sit bones. And 2, and 1, then I'm changing direction. 5, and 4s, it's all kind of circling and grinding. And 3, it's kind of nice though. And 2, and 1. The next one looks a little bit fancy schmancy, but what I'm doing is making the gap at my hip joint smaller, or this angle here basically. You'll see it up there, yeah. If I raise that leg and lean towards it, that angle just got less. If I raise the other leg and lean towards it, so it looks a little bit floaty floaty. Arms are optional. But there is a reason for it. So right leg lean right, left leg lean left. And again, just hit me with 4 more. And 3 more. And 2 more. And 1. Back to centre. stick your bum out to the back. So on this one, if you really can't get your bum sticking out backwards, you can see I've kind of rocked. Remember to sit on something, it will just help you rock in the right direction. If I show you this from the side, you know this all anyway, I'm sure. So I want to be here. If my back is doing this, that's doing nothing at all for my thighs, so you're missing the exercise. Feel free to hoik your bum up onto something and you'll get the stretch a lot better into your thighs. So I'm tilting forwards, that's actually quite a cool angle there, camera angle. Nice little inner thigh stretch. For me, my body just goes, huh, and locks against this because I hate it. So I always have to do a bit of movement just to kind of remind my hips and thighs that actually I'm not doing any damage. I haven't just, you know, fallen out of a tree and whacked my leg out of joint. I'm choosing to do this. So a bit of movement just lets me know it's fine. And that's why we do these circles. So I'm walking towards you guys, climbing over this leg. Maybe give the knee a kiss as you go past. Into the side bend. Woo. Changing sides. Over the other side. So all times keep both sit bones firmly planted on your blocks or on the floor or wherever you are. And I've magically got a little bit further. So it's the same thing, it's just letting my body know that I'm choosing to do this and it's not some sort of hideous accident where my leg's being yanked out of joint and needs to lock. I'm changing sides, so I'm going to go past. If you can get low enough, give your knee a little kiss. Mwah. Into the side bend. Both sides of my bum are on the ground at all times. I can definitely feel I need to start working on this a lot more. I think with all pole and flexibility and aerial stuff, the more stuff you do, the more you want to do more and more and more. And there's just not enough hours in the day. So think about aiming your belly button to the floor, not your head. Remember, getting my head down isn't going to do anything apart from nod my head. I'm trying to get this part of my body down. Whoo! And I'm really not as low as I used to be. Must try harder. Alright, find your way up then. So we're going to do some split swaps, then we'll do our actual splits, and then that will bring us to an hour, I think. I've just seen the time, we're 52 minutes in. Okay, so blocks, optional. I find it makes it comfier. Split swaps, we're going to hold each side for 5 counts. I always find when I'm teaching live class with this that everyone's just cranking around at their own speed, so if you want to do your own counting, that's fine if I'm going too fast or too slow or whatever. I'm not going to drop into my best, most beautiful splits because I need to be able to move. So we're going fronts, middles, other side. And let's do it 3 times. So there's my front split. And I'm going to stay here starting now. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then I'm going to crank around to my middle split, or what passes for my middle split. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then I'm going to scoot it round to my other split. Ooh. So remember, if you can't get your bum to the floor, use your blocks. 5, you can do this floating. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to centre. 5, 4, 3. Yeah, my hip just clicked. 2, I knew it was going to. 1, and twist. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Middles. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 5. This is more about the movement of the hip sockets as you twist. 3, 2, and 1. Last round. Nearly there, team. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the last set. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Look at my ugly foot. It's neither pointed nor flexed, it's just hanging there. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last time, turn. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and centre. Ah, la 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 la. 5, 4, 3, 2, job done. 1. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, all I'm going to do here is 1 minute split in every direction. I'm going to kick off with box split or straddle split, basically because I hate it and I want it out of the way. Then try and do your bad side front split first, followed by your good side as a reward as the final one. Yay! I'm just going to grab my phone because I can use it as a timer then. Oops. So 1 minute of each, same thing if you need to stop and start the video just to keep up, or just switch it off and do your own. It's, however you want to work this, it's all good. Timer, okay. 1 minute. So middle splits. Remember, you can do knees up or knees forward, neither is wrong, they're simply different. I guess if you sat me up, this would be knees up, it's just I'm so far forward with my body. Okay, time starts now. So I am trying to go wide with those legs. And every so often, I'm actually, because I don't like this stretch, I'm going to tense inwards. Rather than letting gravity just slide me out, I'm going to tense in just to try and get some strength into this move, because my inner thighs are extremely weak, and I think that's one of the many reasons I hate this. So squeezing in, squeezy, 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 just for 5, just to be like, get some muscle working, and then release. Ooh. So we're now halfway. So squeezy, 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 because otherwise my body goes, what's this? You're going to die. And release. So I'm literally just pressing my feet into the ground to increase the strength on my inner thighs here. 7, 6, one more squeeze with me. Squeeze, press, press, press. And release. And that's 1 minute. Yay! And the ringer didn't ring, I never know. As you know, sometimes it works. Oof, sometimes it doesn't. All right, bad side front splits. Now I'm going to go for a 1 block over split. Remember, if you nowhere near splits, then crank up blocks under that front leg. It just makes it a little bit more bearable. Anytime you can make it more bearable, do it. I might be a bit ambitious with my 1 block split, but yeah, let's find out. So again, I'm just setting my timer. And our time starts now. So really try and square up. Remember, keep pushing the back hip forwards and the front hip backwards. Belly button should be pointing straight to the wall in front of you. And this is advice I gave on Monday, and I didn't follow my own advice. Remember, go with however you're feeling today. There will be days where you're just not as good, and go with it. Don't push yourself. And there'll be days where you're awesome, and then you go for it. Push, push, push. Keep that body upright. Try not to lean forwards. We're past halfway. Again, if you want to just kind of squeeze this thing, pushing your feet into the ground, and release every so often you can. You can always check things are square. You should be able to touch opposite hand to opposite leg as you do these. Woo! 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. It should ring this time, I think. Oh, just for half a second it rang. All right, let's change sides. Our last splitty split. I'm moving slowly. It's, always end up going slow by the end. Here we go, team. Last push. So it's been a very leggy one. I think my back feels better though. My upper back and shoulders just felt like they were crunched out of place earlier. Ready? Yes, you are. Let's do it. 1 minute starts now. So remember, stretching for more than 1 minute in any position is just a waste of time. A 2 minute splits here isn't going to be any more beneficial than a 1 minute splits. You're better doing, like we have, lots of different stretches for the same muscles. That's going to get you a little bit more than, we could have just done an hour in this position, but it wouldn't have achieved any more than the 1 minute. Keep squaring up, back hip pulls forwards, front hip pulls backwards, knee at the back is facing down to the ground. This is my good side. You can see I'm actually quite a lot happier and comfier here. Whew. 19, 18, 17. Ten seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're done. Ay, 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 ay. Woo! So you might need a moment just jiggling your legs, telling them everything's fine. Whee! And I certainly feel like I'm going to take some big wobbly steps after this. So I hope that was okay, and we're exactly 1 minute and 42 seconds in, so we are done. Have a lovely week. See you later. Bye, bye, bye.